Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing.
Welcome to our convocation. Please be seated. I'd like to welcome everyone to GSSM for our celebration of our students, especially our senior class. I'd like to welcome all those that are watching online as well, our faculty, our staff, and all of our guests. I want to acknowledge a few special guests that we have. We have a couple Board of Trustee members that might be in the audience. If our Board of Trustee members would please stand up and be recognized. I'll just be one. There we go. And then we have some Foundation Board of Director members as well, for our Foundation Board of Directors, if they would stand up. All right, they're in process of getting here as well. And then we have some our own mayor, Mayor Casey Hancock, if he would stand up and please be recognized. And then we have a special guest, the just recently retired mayor of Denmark, South Carolina, Mayor Mayor Wright. Please stand up. Thank you. So welcome again, everybody, to this great celebration. This is probably the fastest walking class that we've ever had. So great job. The music was wonderful, but I apologize for not giving the thumbs up that we were starting. And so that was a great music by our orchestra. So thank you very much, everyone that plays in that orchestra. So before we do get started, I want to take a moment of silence, but I want to preface that a little bit with, for a number of years, we've talked about kindness and how we are a kind community, how do we participate individually in that building up of that kindness, how do we do that in all aspects of our life. And this year we added two other words of humility and appreciation. And so we talked about that, and we'll talk about that all year of how do we be humble, how do we really take time to appreciate what we have. And so during this moment of silence, especially on this memorial of September 11th, I want us to take a moment to really be grateful for all the blessings that we have, all the people in our life that have, are still blessings and that provide all the opportunities that we are afforded. So take a moment of silence, please. And I would like to start by appreciating very important people in our audience, our parents. So students, please congratulate your parents for coming to pick you up. And I always like to take the opportunity to really thank our parents. If you did not trust us and give us your most precious gift, your children, we wouldn't be here. And so really do appreciate that trust that you have in us and for all that you did in order to make these great young men and women who they are today so that we can have them for 2 years and hopefully move them forward. I want to thank our faculty and our staff that are in the audience as well. Students, please give them a round of applause. you know from your past experience with teachers that these teachers are a little different. And as you go into college, I still think you'll look back and you'll hear from some of our alums that these are some of the most dedicated educators that you will ever encounter. They're very excited about a long weekend as well. But they really do cherish and appreciate the chance to teach you guys. And then our students are class of 2027. Please stand. Great job for getting this far. All right, thank you very much. But making it to that first long weekend is no small task, and you might just think it's 3 or 4 weeks, but it is really an accomplishment. And so I hope that as you go home, you do appreciate that time at home and look forward to coming back. But we are here today to celebrate the class of 2026, so please stand. So our ceremony today is to celebrate your accomplishments over your junior year, over the summer of doing real world research, and also being leaders. And I just want to tell you, this has been one of the best starts to a school year. And we can do a lot, all the adults can do a lot, but really that totally depends on our student leadership. So I want to appreciate every single one of you for the role that you have in that. So thank you very much. All right, I will get our convocation started with, I want to introduce our chairman of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Bob Brown, who has been with us for a number of years in a number of different capacities, has mentored a lot of the students, has mentored 3 of the students in the senior class, and Mr. Bob Brown will introduce our convocation speaker.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the school that I absolutely adore, and currently the #1 high school in the state of South Carolina, the #8 high school in the United States, and on our way to being #1 in the United States. No pressure. One of the things that I enjoy the most is convocation and graduation. And mostly the reason I enjoy it is because prior to convocation or graduation, I get to have lunch with the speaker who's going to be speaking today, and then some alums and some faculty, some staff. It's just, and some parents. And I've not come away from a single one of those lunches or dinners without being completely inspired by just the goodness of the school at all levels, the faculty, the staff, the parents, and especially the students. And today was no different. I got to have lunch with Ariana Garcia, who's going to be our speaker. She's a 2024 graduate. I have her resume here, and I'm not too good about going off of resumes, so I'll tell you what I learned over lunch is that her brother Lucas is also a graduate of this school in 2026 and is slightly cramping her social life at Clemson, where they're both going to school and where her father is a professor. That she was the student body president at this institution here, and that she is a passionate scuba diver. She's currently getting her BS in computer engineering and really likes supercomputing. So with that, I will turn it over to Ariana Garcia.
Hello, everyone. I'm Manara, and I would love to stand up here and tell all of you a story full of dramatic changes, pivotal wins, and life-altering breakthroughs while being in college. But in all seriousness, it has been the most amazing 4 years of my life. And they really truly all started here, similar to you. Mine was virtual, so it was kind of similar to you, but not quite. It was on Zoom for one of the longest 8 hours ever. And I started governor school through the pandemic. So I was a Govy when the world shut down, which means I'm basically ancient in all of your standards. I'm pretty sure you all started around middle school, maybe, like 6th grade. Big deal. I started junior year here terrified. I had just transferred to this very competitive school and only heard rumors about its greatness, brilliant kids that I couldn't yet meet, and scary professors I could not get quite out of my head. I can't stand up here and say it with a straight face anymore because I was so wrong. Wrong about the professors, wrong about my classmates, wrong about everything. I really quickly realized that this was a place not about competition, but about connection. Even online, Govys showed up for each other. We shared notes, bonded over some quest, or a cursed physics problem, and somehow still found ways to make things extremely fun. Fast forward to the second semester when I actually did get to move in. I lived on the second floor, still the best floor, I agree. And it wasn't just where I slept, it was kind of where we all grew in community and ultimately did make friendships that turned into what I say is my chosen family. I quickly learned that community was something that you build, not just something that is given to you and not something that just happens. One of the girls that lived on my hall became my best friend in college. I actually learned to scuba dive with her here while on interim. And my current roommate in college was my roommate at governor school. So we've lived together for 6 years now. Similar to many of you, during my senior year, I was an ambassador, student body president, swim team captain, lots of extracurriculars, and I applied to 28 colleges. And on paper, it looks impressive. In real life, I was a wreck. During the fall semester finals, I was so anxious and so stressed about it, I could not take my tests. My parents came to pick me up from school, didn't finish my finals, started going home, started taking therapy and test anxiety, and started figuring out really what was going on. That moment, while really extremely terrifying for me, was pivotal. Because for the first time, I realized it was a moment where humans are not invincible. I was treating my body like a machine, the machines I so desperately wanted to train, and I couldn't keep adding tasks, checking boxes, or pushing through. You learn the hard way that hustle is not the same as health. I leaned in that moment very hard on my community, on the supportive teachers who extended me grace and reminded me that I was more than a transcript, on parents who came to pick me up, carry the weight of myself when I couldn't, on roommates who saw me at my lowest and still made space for so much joy, and on an infinite number of resources on campus, counseling services, advisors, student support staff, who met me where I was and helped me find solid ground again. I say this because you're not here to prove that you can do this alone. You're entirely wrong if you believe that you can do that. You're here to grow safely, fully, and with an immense amount of support. Maximizing your experiences at Govy means taking care of yourself first. And I promise you, there is strength in slowing down when you need to. Pivoting from high school, now I'm a senior at Clemson, and I can confidently say that I've carried governor school with me through every step of the way. The curiosity, the passion, the resilience, sometimes the weird sense of humor, the ability to stay up until 4 a.m. with some programming project and still somehow find time to giggle over what is the best study snack, whether it's ramen or popcorn. Governor school did give me an outstanding academic background, and it gave me the first taste of independence, of leadership, of purpose. But more than anything else, it gave me my people, many of whom I say I live with today, I laugh with, I see every day, and I work with. At Clemson, I'm still very involved. That has not changed. I'm the Secretary of Diversity Affairs and Student Government, Director of TED Talks at Clemson, Team Captain of Supercomputing, among many other things. But in every space, I have still found a Govy. While here, I was student body president, and my second in command then, Yashvi, is still the assistant director of many of the student organizations we run together now at Clemson. There have been 4 Govys who've joined my research lab, 6 in an honor society, and most recently, Bryson is in the same department as me as an electrical engineering major, and he's now my freshman mentee as part of the Breakthrough Scholars Program. where there has been a Govy every year since the inauguration of the scholarship. So for every Eagle in the room, whether you're halfway through governor's school journey, just starting out, I hope you know how lucky you are, not just because of the academic rigor or the once-in-a-lifetime opportunities you'll receive here, but because you have each other. The person sitting next to you could be your future co-author, your future TED collaborator, your future roommate, maybe even your first breakup. Most importantly, trust me on that one. But most importantly, they'll be your family. And years from now, when you're standing in front of your own college, back at your alma mater, working in a lab, traveling the world, you'll realize that it all started here. I would personally like to say thank you to Governor's School for giving me everything I didn't know I needed in that moment, for making me brave enough to take those chances, for giving me roots and wings, sometimes literally, and to the current Govies, completely and soak it all entirely in. The stress, the laughter, the triumphs, the awkward icebreakers, the microwave disasters, the fire alarms, all of it. Because sometimes it is the most beautiful things that come from the school come from inside of you. I do wear orange as a Clemson student, but long before that, I was and always will be an Eagle. Thank you.
Thank you, Nara. And I did have the pleasure with the student body president to meet with Nara on a weekly basis, and I can attest, it didn't start at 28 colleges, it started like at 50 colleges. We narrowed it down, but so thank you very much. And class of 2026, 2027, in 4 or 5 years, might be asking one of you to calling you up randomly, not randomly, but calling you up, not knowingly, I should say, that and asking you to be our speaker for convocation. So kind of think about that as you go through your years here. Before we get to celebrating you, the class of 2026, I'd like to introduce one of our prestigious alums from the class of 1996, Miss Melanie Drummond Hanson. She'll come up and introduce our Outstanding Alumnus Awardee. She is our president-elect of our GSSM Alumni Association. She's currently out in San Francisco as an attorney. So please welcome to the stage Ms. Melanie Drummond.
Thank you, President Danny. Thank you, Mr. Brown, and thank you to our distinguished guests. As President Dorsel mentioned, I'm Melody Drummond Hanson. I'm the class of 1996 and president-elect of the Alumni Association. And on behalf of our current Alumni Association president, Makala Makat, and our fellow alumni, I'm really delighted to be here to recognize this year's outstanding alum. This is a little glimpse into your alumnus future and like the community that you'll be joining. Now in its 37th year, GSSM is approaching 3,000 alumni, spanning the country and the world, in fact. Each Govy is extraordinary. As kids, we left our homes to live at school and devote ourselves to science and math. Our early students had email before most people had heard the screeching sound of a dial-up modem. And over the years, each generation of Govies has drawn circuits for fun, watched movies in our PJs, observed the fascinating lives of squirrels, shared eclectic musical tastes, burnt popcorn, built robots, jazzercised, and absolutely dominated at Ultimate Frisbee, quiz bowls, mathletics, and even some real sports like tennis. The Governor's School transformed each of us. It gave us a ticket to college and permission for ambition. Govies built the modern internet. We became doctors and lawyers. We lead the world's best known companies in tech and business, and we found our own companies. We lead NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center and pursue cures for cancer. We protect intellectual property. We serve in law enforcement and defend our country and our armed services. Thank you for your service. Govies don't only lead in math and science, though. We also insist on killing it in comedy, fashion, romance writing, acting, chefing, firefighting, teaching, and public service. We are building the future of medicine, law, policy, research, and education in industries from biotech to aerospace to agriculture to artificial intelligence and supercomputing. We are also providing crisis care for foster kids, serving in nonprofits, volunteering, investing in our communities, growing our families, and giving back to the school, both personally and through our companies and organizations. Make no mistake, kindness and ambition go together. Each year, why am I saying all this? Not just to brag on the Alumni Association that you will soon join, but because the Alumni Association has each year this daunting task to choose just one individual among this incredible community as truly outstanding. Nominated and voted for by fellow alumni, the outstanding alum is a person who, through their personal life and their professional endeavors, demonstrates not only the success that one can achieve with a governor's school education, but also a commitment to serving others. I want to thank Darby Kervin, who is here today, class of 2008, who led this year's efforts as chair of our awards committee and is now serving as the secretary of our alumni board. And now it is my great pleasure to present this year's award to one of my seniors, Avis Wright, class of 1995. Avis exemplifies excellence. Avis earned a chemistry degree from Clemson University, where she became a member of the prestigious Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. How prestigious is it? Well, its members include Toni Morrison, Felicia Rashad, and Vice President Kamala Harris, and also Avis's mom, Doris Wright, who is here today with her grandson and her husband, the mayor of Denmark. And their honorary members include Rosa Parks, Coretta Scott King, Maya Angelou, and astronaut Mae Jemison, among many, many other distinguished leaders. Avis began her career at General Electric, where she started as an application development engineer, and then spent nearly a decade as a technical sales and marketing specialist. Since then, she's worked in iconic names in sales, including Mary Kay, which is known for uplifting communities through enabling people to make incomes outside of their other incomes. And she's racked up awards across industry sectors before becoming an account exec for household names like LinkedIn, SurveyMonkey, and Salesforce, where she is now. Avis is as comfortable in a C-suite as a GSSM dorm suite, and she uses her success to coach and mentor, to lift as she climbs. She is a certified executive coach who empowers leaders and high performers to reach their full potential. As some examples of this, she has led the establishment of employee resource groups, such as the Black Inclusion Group in Chicago, and BUILD, Blacks United in Leadership and Development, each of her companies that she's worked with. In these roles, she championed professional development, leadership training, and retention, part of her lifelong advocacy for opportunity, inclusion, and professional growth. Avis also serves her community in Chicago. She's volunteered with the Glass Slipper Project, which provides spiffy prom duds to kids who need them. And she's mentored young women through an organization called She's All That. And she also provides leadership coaching for Deborah's Place, which is an organization supporting women transitioning out of homelessness. And Avis also serves our Govey community. On our alumni board, Avis has been a guiding light on how we can grow alumni engagement, leverage our community, and uplift each other. As just one example of her empathy and her lasting impact, Avis led a team to establish the Leanne Watson and Edwina Edwards Memorial Endowed Scholarship Fund. This fund honors lost classmates of ours from 1994 and 1995 by supporting future students. It covers the cost of meal plans for selected students, hoping to ensure that no student will miss out on a governor's school education because they cannot afford to pay for food. Under Avis's leadership, the fund already is projected to reach over half of its ambitious $150,000 fundraising goal by the end of 2025. Avis, you are a strategic executive, a revenue grower and a deal closer, a dynamic leader, a generous mentor and coach, a thoughtful neighbor, and a wonderful friend. I feel lucky to have you as a friend of mine, and we are also lucky to have you as an alum of this school. You are, in a word, outstanding. Let's all congratulate this year's Governor's School Outstanding Alum, Avis Wright, class of 1995.
Good afternoon. Wow. Thank you. I'll call you tomorrow. You can say all that again. It feels so special. It's such an honor to be here today, accepting this prestigious and very heartwarming award in front of all of you, but especially in front of my parents, Gerald and Doris Wright, and my little 10-month-old son, Anderson. I want to acknowledge contributions made by so many incredible GSSM alumni, including Neil Suss, founder of SUSCO, and John Chu, president of Bright Invest International Incorporated. Being here in Hartsville, because I didn't have the pleasure to attend this particular campus, we attended at Coker, but it brings back a flood of memories. Long nights studying, burning popcorn in the microwave, all of those things, the pressure to perform, quiet moments, just wondering, do I deserve to be here? Am I good enough? Did somebody make a mistake? I know the brilliance that's in the room today. I understand that. But I also understand that there's a weight that comes with it. But what I want to leave with you today, and what I hope you walk away from, is that it's not about grades or your next big achievement. All of those things are going to come. I think what's most important is something that's deeper. It's about who you are becoming, how you treat others, and how you carry yourself into the future. Compassion. Have compassion for others, yes, so important. But even more than that, have compassion for yourself. When I was here at the Governor's School, and even later on in my career, I was oftentimes harder on myself than anybody else. I pushed myself because I wanted to be the best. I really wanted to show my value. And while ambition drove me forward, it was compassion and reminding myself that I didn't have to be perfect to have value that kept me grounded. In the words of Dr. Maya Angelou, try to be a rainbow in someone else's cloud. But even more important, try to be a rainbow for yourself, because sometimes it really has to be about you. Compassion is not a weakness, it's a strength. It allows you to build healthier relationships and a mindset that can withstand the most difficult challenges. Authenticity. I hope you understand that the greatest gift you could ever give the world is yourself. And I'm talking about the real you. Over the years, my career path has taken a lot of unexpected turns. I started in one direction, I ended up in another. Not because I had it all figured out, obviously, but because I allowed myself to lean into who I really was, who I wanted to become, and not just what others expected of me. Toni Morrison once wrote, "You are your best thing." And that's the truth. You don't need to be a copy of someone else's success. Your authenticity, your unique voice, your unique story, that's your edge. Compassion and authenticity aren't just ideas. These are legacies. Two of my classmates, Edwina Edwards and Leanne Watson, embodied them both. And though their time was cut short, the way they lived with kindness and authenticity and a genuine spirit is still remembered by so many today. When you live with compassion and authenticity, your impact will last far beyond your years here at the Governor's School. The last thing I'll share is you don't have to have your entire future figured out today. I stand before you as proof that your path can and will evolve. The decisions you make here will open doors, but they aren't meant to lock you in forever. Some of the most meaningful turns in my life and career were the ones that I never saw coming. Michelle Obama said it best. Don't ever make decisions based on fear. Make decisions based on hope and possibility. Your courage to adapt will take you further than any perfect plan ever could. The future doesn't belong to those who have every detail mapped out at 18. Believe me, I know. I had nothing mapped out. It belongs to those who lead with compassion, those who stay true to themselves, and those that are brave enough to grow. I want to thank you for this opportunity to share some time with you. I want to congratulate you on all the things that you've already accomplished, and I can't wait to see how you will shape what comes next. Thank you.
Congratulations, Davis, and thank you again for being here with us. I took some notes there on all three that our Life and Leisure seminar needs to definitely add some popcorn making skill sets there. So, all right, without further ado, I'm going to bring out Dr. Matt Martin to start our letter presentations to our class of 2026.
Thank you, President Dorsal. First, I'd like to recognize our three visiting scholars from the Johanna Wittmann Schule in Pforzheim, Germany, who are participating in our Research Experience Scholars Program, a partnership that started between GSSM and Johanna Wittmann Schule 17 years ago. So please stand when I introduce you. Selen Mueller, Lily Schubert, and Hannah Vranken. They are conducting molecular genetics research to produce peanuts that are less likely to trigger an allergic reaction, make wheat more digestible for those sensitive to gluten, and reduce the threat from a plant pathogen that threatens South Carolina's peach trees. It's a lot to do while you're here, so I'm glad you're on it. They're working with Dr. Sachin Rusky at the Clemson University PD Research and Education Center and participating in a variety of cultural experiences while living in residence with us. Please make them feel welcome again. And now it's time to honor our seniors, the class of 2026. Would the first row of seniors please stand and walk around to the side of the stage? In order for all the seniors to be honored, there will be a slight pause as I ask for each row to stand at the appropriate time and move to the side of the stage like them. Each senior's name will be called. We ask that you hold any applause until after all the names have been called, at which point there will be ample time to show your appreciation and admiration for what these seniors have accomplished. Seniors, as your name is called, please come to the stage to receive your letter and pause at the end of the stage for a picture. All right. Are we ready? Let's go. Stephen Adams. Liam Aguilar. Sophia Andreski. Reva Bafna. Hashini Bhaskaran. Chiara Basta. Will the next row of seniors please stand and come forward, please? Arath Bernal. Leilani Birch. Jovan Blancaflor. Matthew Bodner. Vishwant Bolasetti. Hampton Braddock. Eli Brown. Rufus Brown. David Buchanan. Mason Burns. Sanai Burris. Will the next row of seniors please stand and come forward? Wesley Childress. Oh, excuse me. Vlad, I skipped you. Vlad Chetverikov. Where's Vlad? Wesley Childress. Lily Cho. Noah Coleman. Luke Capola. Jake Coward. Persis Dathrapu. Jaden Davis. Madeline Dean. Nadi Deriche. Lee Dutterer. Ansh Dwivedi. Annie Ear. Marissa Eckert. Will the next row of seniors please come forward? Andreas Egelhofer. Emma Floyd. Sammy Freeman. Sankitha Garapati. Joseph George. Edward Garasti. Kenyatta Greenlee. Grace Guys. Vincent Goa. Hannah Hall. Kieran Hall. Ava Ham. James Hamrick. Neil Hancock. Will the next row of seniors please come forward? Lucy Hartley. Oh, Laura Hartley, Daddy did it again. Oh, you can't cut mine. Get back in. Laurel Hardy. All right, Laura. Have to play out. Lucy Hartley. Now you can come. Jack Hopkins. Ivana Urizane. Jessica Hewell. DJ Hullett. Braden Hutchinson. McLean Jackson. Jenny Zhang. Asha Kaikini. Reed Kaikini. Parth Campbell. Nicholas Kelly. John Kim. Will the next row of seniors please come forward? Oliver King. Ava Kittrell. Kelly Kippers. Andrew Lambert. Griffin LaRue. Sam Lewis. Grayson Lee. Sophie Lynn. Caroline Locklear. Morgan Long. David Lee. Viam Marianda. Albert Mathis. Tiku Mbu. Will the next row of seniors please come forward? Max McBurney. Casey McCumber. Quentin McGreevy. Savannah McCarricker. Haley McKnight. Atharv Marotra. Reagan Baton. Shrija Mahanti. Amora Moore. Miriam Morales. Lavanthi Narisimhan. David Nechalescu. Evan Newcomb. Crystal Wynn. Will the next row of seniors please come forward? Eloisa Quinn. Well, my list is out of reach. No. Griffin O. Kyle Pacheco. Logan Pacheco. Tessa Payson. Diya Patel. Janki Patel. Jurna Patel. Krish Patel. Kush Patel. Priya Patel. William Phillips. Ashwarya Prabhakaran. Jaden Press. Will our next row of seniors please come forward? Andrew Pringle. Caroline Pringle. Lainey Purser. Shireen Kahira. Cindy Q. Miller Rainwater. Priya Raj. Pranay Rajesh. Burhan Rajnagarwala. Jasmine Ramos. Aditi Reddy. Jen Relwani. Grayson Ross. Kaylee Russell. Will the next row of seniors please come forward? Layla Saltman. Abi Samala. Aiden Sinkir. Esteban Satabi Gomez. Delbert Suhi. Jonathan Slade. Gianna Sparks. Will Stokes. Nolan Starkey. Campbell Summers. Adi Sankari. Param Suresh. Hannah Swinton. Quinn Toussaint. And will the final row of seniors please come forward? Trace Trailer. Eileen Turk. Neha Bakaleri Manjanatha. Jesse Van Zanen. Matthew Vargas. Emerson Walsh. Vicky Wang. Kate Watson. Matthew Weathers. Kendall Webb. Amani White. Calliope Williams. Hannah Williamson. Bonnie Yang. Jackie Yang. Maggie Zhao. Dustin Zhang. And finally, John Joe. Give them all one big round of applause.
Let's give the class of 2026 to stand up, turn around, face the audience, and give one more round of applause for them. Thank you very much. All right, you can sit down just for one moment. So again, congratulations on this first month to both classes. As you go home this weekend, please take time to show your appreciation to your family members for allowing you guys to come here. We do truly appreciate that. We want you to have some downtime and come back re-energized for another good month at Governor's School. So everyone, if you turn to the back of their program, you'll see their alma mater. Our students know it well, so we will sing our alma mater and then process out. Have a great long weekend. If everyone would please stand. If the choir could come up, that'd be great. And choir and orchestra, take your spots, please.